Hey, how you doing out there in YouTube land? This is Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Today we got an unboxing. It's coming from Knives Plus. Knives Plus. And Knives Plus is in Amarillo, Texas. Alright. Doing the unboxing today is one of my new favorites. My Studies and Observations group. XR, Pentagon XR. And it doesn't hit the backspacer. This knife is absolutely awesome. It's just as fidgety as the Vision. It's just as fidgety as the Vision. I just like the way it looks too. It looks like a little dagger. That dagger or boot knife, whatever you want to call it. And the blade is actually very useful on it too, for everyday EDC type knife, like what you see me doing now. Because the blade's not too thick, so it's a great cutting knife. Okay, what we got in here? Let me see what this says. Let me see what this says. Ah, Steel Tiger, Oz 8A. SR1-Lite, 4-inch stainless steel Tonto. And a mini Koga. Coming from Knives Plus. Very cool. And yes, I do already have these, and I've already done videos on my first ones, but I liked them so much I got second ones like I told you I was going to do. Thank you for your order, Knives Plus. Very cool. Mini Koga. I got a mini Koga because I gave one of these to my daughter that was just like this one. I always wanted to replace it, I just never replaced it, and I figure I better replace it now. Who knows what's happening? Who knows what's happening? We've all seen the outrageous prices that they're charging. So who knows what's happening, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. And this came from Knives Plus. One of the online retailers I like to use. Oh, I forgot to show you the box, even though I've done this before. You've seen the box before. And the specs, let's read the specs real quick. Blade length, 4 inches. Overall length, 9 3/8 inches. Steel, 8CR13 MOV. I did some research on the Chinese steels and the difference between like 8CR13 MOV and 8CR14 MOV. 8CR14 MOV is supposed to be more like Oz 8. It's supposed to be not as hard as the 13. The 13 is supposed to be a little bit harder, but it's also supposed to be more prone to chipping. But I've watched people do stuff with the SR1 and nobody's chipped their blades, so I figure that the way that cold steel must have tempered it, maybe they tempered it in a way where it doesn't chip. But that's sort of like the difference, is that the CR13, the blade edge should last a little bit longer than the 14's edge. So it should be a little bit better steel as far as edge holding is concerned. And that's the way I took what I read. I am not a steel expert or anything like that. I just did my own little personal research on the internet. And that's the information I found out. I forget which website I went to that I got that information from. That had to do with like steels, blade steels. And all the different Japanese blade steels. The Japanese and Chinese blade steels, Asian blade steels. Beautiful. I absolutely love these knives. Absolutely. Let me move this box out the way for a second here. Here's the first one. And I've been carrying it and using it a lot. I absolutely love this knife. This is the nicest functioning cold steel that I've had in a long time. It reminds me of a lot of the old Oz 8s were like this, where the spring pressure on the triad lock was just right. It wasn't too hard to use. Anybody could use this. You don't have to have super strong fingers or hands or like you do with some of the cold steels to unlock this. This unlocks very easily, and it is so smooth. And I just had to see if this was a freak, because this knife is perfect. The grinds and everything on it are absolutely perfect. And lots of times when you get cold steels, the grinds aren't always perfect on both sides. If you look and compare them to both sides, but this one's perfect. I can't find a flaw in it. And I mean the fitment and everything is just perfect, and the way the lock engages and disengages is perfect. The ease of use. This is like one of the easiest to use cold steels that I have with a triad lock. And I know it's the Chinese 8CR13 MOV stainless steel. And a lot of us, including myself, aren't really interested in Chinese steels. And the only reason why I did research on this one, because I just love this knife. I just had to find out a little bit more about the steel that this blade has. And actually the steel is supposed to be able to hold the edge a little bit better than the Oz 8. And we saw this, hold. We never saw this knife break or anything when it was going up against the Clever Girl. Remember, it just kept going, and then they just stopped putting weight on it. I don't even know what they stopped at. It was a lot of weight, more than the Clever Girl was able to handle at 580 pounds. So I know this steel must be fairly strong too. So I don't know. What do y'all know about 8CR13? Let's talk about that a little bit. But I absolutely love this knife. And for $59, I think it's the best cold steel buy that there is out of all the cold steel knives, is the SR1-Lite. I wish they would have used the Japanese steel though. I wish they would have used the Japanese Oz 10. I think that would have made this knife perfect. Because I don't know about you guys, but with a Japanese, this Americanized Tanto, which is taken from the Japanese style blade or whatever, right? And so I think it's kind of cool when knives like this are using Japanese steel, like a Tanto style knife or whatever. I don't know. That's just me. Don't get all stuck up on that or whatever. But I just think it's kind of cool when, when they came out with the Voyagers with the Oz 10. Oh man, I had to go get my Voyagers with the Oz 10 because they finally went back to the Japanese steel. Because the CTS BD1 steel is, I don't know, it's not my favorite steel. And I used to like the Oz 8 because it was easy to resharpen, but it didn't hold the edge very well. The Oz 10, I haven't had to resharpen one yet, but they seem like they hold the edge very well. More like a 154 CM or ATS 34, or they're very. It's a very good budget steel, maybe the best budget steel. And I think this would have been better if it had an Oz 10 blade. But with the Chinese steel, with the 8CR13, I don't know. It'll be it should be a step above regular Japanese Oz 8. That's what I'm trying to say. But I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a steel expert. But one thing I can say is I absolutely love this knife, the SR1-Lite. And I know if they switch to a different steel or something, or try to do something different, maybe it won't be as smooth no more. Because they've done that with other knives. Like when they switched to, the American Lawman, when they went from Oz 8 to the CTS 6HP steel, The Oz 8 steel knives function like this. They function super easy, super smooth. I mean, sometimes you would get a bad one. You know, not all of them were perfect, but you know, just about all of them were, you know, pretty much like this, where they function really nicely. Especially like not the bigger knives, but like the smaller knives, like the American Lawman and the AK-47 and what do you call it, the Espada, the medium Espada, and the counterpoint, the smaller, not the small counterpoint, but the medium-sized counterpoint. They were all super smooth knives. And the Voyagers. And this one falls into that bracket. This is a super smooth knife. But anyway, we know about the old one. Let's see what the new one's like. The grind on this one's a little bit forward of the point where it's supposed to be down, so this is not as perfect as the other one. I don't know if you can see that. That's okay though. It's just something, you know, I'm real meticulous about grinds. I like everything to be exact and where it's supposed to be. This side is fine. So on the what is it, the left side, or no, it's the right side actually. If you're holding it like that, it's the right side. The grind's slightly off, but still very nice. Okay, let me see how it functions. This one, the lockup is just like the other one, like my first one. Let me fold this one up. I don't like to leave a knife open like that and accidentally bump into it or something. It doesn't make any noise. These are some really nice knives, people. I'm telling you, if you get a chance to go get you one of these, go get one. Because I think these are, and the grinds on it is perfect. Let's see how sharp it is. The grinds on the edge looks perfect. It's sharp all the way. And the choil to it is sharp. Yeah, it's sharp. It's absolutely nice. Just a little bit off right there. I mean, but it's like a fraction. The only person that's gonna bother is me. Very well done. Saber ground. This is one tough ass blade. 4.8 millimeters thick. These are beautiful. Highly recommend these. All cold steel fans, all cold steel triad lock lovers, y'all should have at least one of these in your collection. At least one. 59 bucks. Come on now. Get them before they're gone. GSM is probably going to try to charge $200 for this knife. Have you guys seen the prices? Have you guys seen the prices out there? Oh man, I'll leave you a link. I'll leave you a link at the bottom of this video to go check out the GSM prices if you haven't seen them already. But the GSM prices, wow, dude. I mean, they're ridiculous. That's the only way I can describe them. Just ridiculous. All right. Let's get back to the box. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, there it is. The Steel Tiger. The Steel Tiger. The Steel Tiger. Blade length 4 3/4 inches. Steel Oz 8A stainless. Weight 4.6 ounces. Blade thickness 5 millimeters. Handle length 5 inches. Griv X with overmolded Cray X. And this should be the Taiwan one. Just like the one I already have. You know me, I liked it, so I just had to have two. After getting that one. Let's compare it to my other one, my first one. There we go. This is the one I got on eBay. This one came from Nice Plus. Oh yeah. Edge is perfect. Everything's perfect. Oh yeah. Yes, I've been practicing a little bit. I have hurt myself with one of these already, though. Here's one I already have. The used one I bought on eBay. You guys can compare them so you can see that they're the real deal. Nice Plus is an authorized dealer, so online dealer, so they're not going to have something that's not the real deal. Remember the first one I got of these? It was a counterfeit. These are the real ones. Both of them are perfect. Sweet. So I got doubles of my SR1s and doubles of my Steel Tigers. And the sheaths, they're exactly the same. Let's see how I can do that for you. And so this is what you should be getting if you're trying to get one of these. These are the real ones. They're not the fake ones. These are actual Steel products. All right. Last but not least, in the unboxing today is the mini Koga. These are really nice non-lethal weapon that you use by just holding it in your hand. Use the pressure points on the wrist, grab some of my wrist, boom. Mini Koga. Always keep the big one with the ball ends in my backpack. I just want to get another one of these. Little mini Koga. Alright, people. Well, that's it for today. That's it for today. My new additions. My favorite little EDC now. This has been my favorite little EDC. I absolutely love the what they call this one? The XR lock. You know, it's SOG's version of the Axis lock, the XR lock. I really love the XR lock, or Axis lock, or I don't know, whatever kind of lock, crossbar lock with flippers. It's like a perfect match. It's like a made in heaven match. All of them need to have flippers. I absolutely love it. This is one cool blade to carry every day. It's lightweight, you forget about it's in your pocket. It's not too big, but it's not too small either. It's a really cool size for EDC. And yes, it's tactical and would make an awesome self-defense tool. But it's also good as an EDC knife too, for everyday cutting chores. It's a very cool little blade. I love the Pentagon. And the reason why I keep emphasizing that how much I love about this Pentagon, because when I first got it, I didn't like it because it was hitting the backspacer. But this is the whole reason why I got into the Studies and Observation Group knives, or SOG, as we all know them, was because I saw this one being advertised and I wanted this one. And then I decided to try the other ones too. The Vision XR is an awesome knife also. And both of these have CTS XHP. With like 3.1 millimeter blade stocks. Very nice knives. Under 5 ounces. Very nice. 3.5 inch blades. This was a little bit over, it's like a 3.6 or something. I think the Vision's a 3.5 inch. 3.5. But these are awesome, awesome folders for EDC. This one or the Vision. I know they're a little bit on the high end side as far as like the cost or whatever, the expense of them. But I absolutely love this knife. I absolutely love this knife. I think it's a little bit overpriced because their normal price is like $179, I think it is. And I think they should be more like the Vision, where they're like in between like $130 and $150. I think that'd be a better price for them. But you know what? I don't regret getting this one though. I absolutely love it. And it's one of the knives I've been carrying the most. I love my my CRKT Clever Girl also, but this one's been getting more pocket time pretty much since I've gotten it back from SOG. Absolutely love the combination of the flipper and the crossbar style lock, or the XR lock, or the axis lock, whatever you want to call it. Benchmade invented the lock, or I forget the gentleman's name that Benchmade bought the lock design from, but it was Benchmade's lock first, or second, should I say? I don't know. They bought the rights to the lock. Sort of like Cold Steel did with the Triad lock and Andrew Demko. But I absolutely love these locks. I don't know. I think for an EDC knife, for my everyday carry, that I carry to work and stuff, when I don't want to carry a real big knife, I think I like this type of lock the best. I know it's not the strongest, but it is the most fun to play with. and these type of locks are strong too, though. You know, because Andrew Demko's gone up against like the Bedlam and different locks with the style lock or whatever, and they always were strong. They're not as strong as a Triad lock, but they're stronger than a liner lock or a most frame locks. So I like it. Anyway, that's it for this video. I know it's a long video. I went on for a long time, but I had a lot of material to cover here. And I hope you got some information out of these. I absolutely love the SR1s. The SR1s, I'm recommending to everybody to go out and get one. I think everybody that likes cold steel knives and likes Triad locks, they should own an SR1-Lite. If you don't own the regular SR1, I have several of those too, but this is the deal of the century here. This is a lot of knife for $59. And I mean, it's functions so nicely too. Sure, you know, it's not made out of the same materials as the original SR1 with the G10 handles and the S35 VM blades. But this one with the Grivex, this Grivex is nice though. The way that they did the Grivex handle on this one, it's nice. It feels like a G10 handle. It doesn't you know, it's got like a little bit of flash in it when you hold it at different angles. But the way it feels in hand, it feels like a G10 handle. It feels like the other SR1 handle, feels a lot like it. And the blade, the way that they finish the blade and everything is exactly how they finished the other model. So you're getting a knife that looks basically, to me it looks a little bit better than the original SR1 because I like the black handle scales with the metal finished hardware, with the shiny finished hardware. It looks really nice together. And it's made exactly, the only difference between this one and the other SR1 is the handle scale material and the blade steel material. That's it. The rest of the knife is identical to the other SR1. The pivot screws look a little bit different, but it's the same size pivot screw. I never tried to interchange the parts on these, but I bet you all the parts are interchangeable too. But these are awesome blades. Awesome, 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 awesome. The SR1-Lites. That's all I can say about those. Hope everybody's doing okay. Yeah, and I'll leave a link to the new Cold Steel GSM website with the new prices, and I'm not happy with the new prices. I'm gonna let you know right now. I was planning on getting a lot of the new GSM knives, especially when they said they're going to bring back the towel war and the holdout. But they're bringing the towel war and the holdout back at prices that are like twice as high, if not sometimes almost 3 times as much as they originally cost, with the CTSX HP steel. Because when they had the Oz 8 steel, they were under $100. And when they had the CTSX HP steel, they went up between like 100 to like 150, sometimes 200, depending on where you're buying them at. But I'd never spent more than like $125 for any of my CTSX HP holdout ones, I think they were called, or the holdout XL, and the XL Towel Wars. So I think they're way overpriced because they want like $300 and $250 for the holdout, I think it is, and like almost $300 for the Towel War. I think that's too much. And they're not using CTSX HP; they're using S35VN, which is a very good steel, but I don't know if that's a good price for that. I'm not going to get them if they're at that price. I have to see what the street prices really turn out to be. I know Blade HQ, I think it is. Was it Blade HQ? I saw a link to one of Jimmy Slash had a link to one of the places that he's looking at street prices, and the street prices were only maybe a $40 difference. It wasn't that much of a difference, and when the prices need to be cut in half almost. I'd pay $150 for a new Towel War or a new holdout, large holdout. I could see $150 at the most for them. I could see that, but not $300 and not $250. That's too much. That's too much. So if they cost that much, I'm just letting you all know that I won't be getting those, because I already have a bunch of Towel Wars and holdouts, and I don't really need them in the first place. I would just be getting them because I want to get the S35VN versions of them. But if they're going to be costing that much, I'm going to pass on them. But and all y'all know how much I love the Towel Wars and the holdouts. I would definitely get them if they were in a price range where I thought it was a fair price. But I think $300 for a Towel War is not a fair price. Because you can get this is a 5.5 inch blade, just like a Towel War XL would have. It has a 5.5 inch blade. And this handle is actually made stronger than the Towel War handle. It's got partial steel liners to help support the triad lock. This design was one of the strongest designs for the triad. The Towel War, what makes the Towel War so cool is it doesn't have stainless steel liners, and it just has G10 handle scales with the 6061 heat treated back spacer. And the blade stock is 4 millimeters, just like this blade stock, or it's actually really like a 3.8 millimeters, I think it is. And it's a full flat grind, so the blade is lighter than the Espada blade. So the whole knife is like an ounce lighter than this. And it's a big difference when you hold it in your hand. You can really feel that difference of the ounce. And the spot and the Tau War, the handle on the Tau War is good in a whole lot of different grips. You have a real good, safe, secure grip in a lot of different ways on the Tau War. More so than you do this one. This one, the only grip that you really have is this grip. It's the only grip that I feel safe and secure with this handle. But I do like this handle because it feels like a Spartan handle because of this piece right here. I feel like it's holding my hand in, nice and safe and securely. Now you can go back to here, but it starts not to feel right because it sort of feels like a hot spot right here. So I don't really like this knife in the reverse grip. When I grip this knife, I grip it in the forward grip. The same thing goes when I flip it around. I like it in the same forward grip. I don't come up to here because I feel like I'm starting to lose control of the knife like that. This knife feels the most secure in this grip. Whereas like on the Tau War, it feels good in the back grip also. That's like, so you end up having a knife that has a lot more reach like that, as opposed to being like this. So it's like having a knife with a 7.5 inch blade when you come back here, as opposed to a knife with a 5.5 inch blade, or like sort of like a 6 inch, because it'd be like another inch. It'd be like 6 inch reach, fixed blade. But that's the reason why I like the Tau War, because it's so light, it doesn't imprint in your pocket, it's easy to carry, but it shouldn't be costing more than the Espada. That's my personal opinion. And S35VN is a better steel than the Oz 10, but you can get these, all day long for like in between 120 or sometimes 115 to about 130 bucks. You can buy these on the street all day long. Right now, before they're gone. That is. That's the regular price. I paid like $20 for this, or $25, something like that. You can buy them at that price all day long on the internet. And this is a very good steel. This is a Japanese Oz 10. Now, for S35VN, by cold steel standards, that means the S35VN blade, like this, should cost maybe like in between $140 to $160. That's the way the old cold steel used to do, pretty much. That's be like the difference in the cost. Because I remember the S35VN ones of these with the DLC coating, I think you were able to get them like from like 150. Sometimes you get them like 140 in the $140 range, so like 180 at the most. Not 200. Somebody was charging 200, they're overcharging for it. But you get like 150. I think those ones I bought them for like about 150. I think it was 145, 150 or something like that. Because I always get things on sale. But yeah, I don't think the new Tau War should cost more than well, let's say it shouldn't cost more than the S35VN Espada, one of the old ones. And those are like 150 bucks. So I think that's the fair price for the new Tau War. And I think the holdouts should be about the same price, about 150 bucks, 140, 150 bucks. But it looks like GSM is going to be more into making money than they are to giving good people good deals and giving them good value for their money, like the old cold steel company used to do. So if they continue like that, I think that'll be the end of them. But anyway, let's break this one off. Hope y'all having a great day. I just had to let my opinions flow. Peace out, Stiletto. Y'all take care.